Hey, what's up, guys? This is Church of Caboose, and I'm bringing you kind of like a church rants, almost type video, because there's some stuff that's been going on that have really been kicking me off, and it's not super Destiny related. It's more like video game related. 2 weeks or a week or two ago, we had two maniacs go out and kill 23 people and wound 53 others. One was in Dayton, Ohio. The other one was in El Paso, Texas, and it's absolutely tragic. And that by itself, ticks me off. And what we're going to be talking about in this video is Donald Trump and other politicians like Kevin McCarthy who are trying to blame violent video games for mass shooters, or because that's right ahead. These mass shooters are violent video games that are to blame, and that is categorically false. Because I have taken the last couple of days and I've been digging through Google, reading articles, looking at different publishers, whether it be Game Rant, Washington Post, scholarly articles which are written by people with PhDs who are brainiacs and do studies and stuff, and I'm sharing that with you guys. So the purpose of this video is to try and share with you, and I hope you share this with others, that video games actually have a lot of good to present to the world, to the point that I found myself thinking when I was doing my several recordings, trying to get this to a reasonable length. And when I was researching, I was like, how are we not funding this? And we're going to mostly cover everything through this one article, MentalFloss, that has the 15 benefits of video games. Because if I go into much detail in the other articles, we're going to be repeating stuff a lot. It's going to be super long, and I'm trying to make this short enough where you guys watch it and feel like maybe sharing this with others so we can change the stereotype that people are trying to hate on video games because they think it makes people more violent. So we're going to get on into this. If you guys do me a favor, share this. You got to change the stereotype. I'm so tired of every once in a while, whenever there's a shooting, someone trying to blame it on video games, because that is categorically wrong. And when we're going through this, you're going to be like, how are we not funding this? Just take my money for us to make this stuff work. All right, so here we go. The only thing I will touch on a little bit is one of the scholarly articles I have linked in the description. Specifically focuses on shooter games, and so there's tons of benefits to come from those violent video games which are the ones that Trump and them called out as being the problem, to include things like better memory, better ability to filter out information that's relevant, better ability for spatial recognition, and that kind of thing. So here we go. Let's get into this article, and if you guys would like more detail on anything going through here, because I can probably give it to you, just let me know in the comment section. You can email me at churchofcaboose1992@gmail.com, or you can put it in on Twitter. You can at me at caboosechurchup on Twitter, and I will do my best, especially if multiple people are asking for it, to help you guys out and give you more information. So here we go. Number one from this 15 surprising benefits of playing video games is: 1. Video games are producing better surgeons. Apparently, they're finding when they do inspections of small incisions and stuff that surgeons who play video games for more than 3 hours per week made 32% fewer errors during their practice procedures as compared to their non-gaming counterparts. So if you want to be a surgeon, maybe tell your parents, like, hey, I want to be a surgeon, so I should play more video games because I'll be doing better surgery. And then if you are a surgeon, then someone's like, hey, you're spending too much time. Like, nope, I'm working on my craft, yo. So anyways, oh my God. If you... Little quick side tangent. If you guys even try and go on Google, I don't think Trump or anyone that said this stuff even tried looking anything up before they said it. I think they just let shit roll out of their mouths and just were like, well, let's give the people something we think they want to hear. Because it took me so much effort to find anything negative about video games as far as how it reflected human behavior. Now, there's tons of people getting fat and stuff, but as far as aggressive behavior, which is what they were talking about, it was really very, very difficult. All right, number 2. Video games could help people overcome dyslexia. Dyslexia is a really, really common learning disability. If I remember right, thanks to The Office, it is the most common learning disability, where basically people flip letters and words and numbers around into different orders than they're actually written down, which makes it very difficult to read and learn and to answer questions when you're reading at a whiteboard. But apparently video games, especially ones with constantly changing environments, teach intense focus, and it makes it easier for people with dyslexia to actually overcome dyslexia and to not suffer as much from it because they're more used to focusing intensely, and so that helps them to not notice the effects of dyslexia as much, which I thought was really, really interesting, especially since it's a super, super duper common disability that many, many people have. Number 3, video games can improve your vision. There was some study that was done where basically they were like, hey, let's see what happens with vision, and they found people with lazy eyes tend to have some vision correction actually from playing video games, and apparently people also got better at seeing different shades of gray and being able to tell, discern between the different shades of gray. So far we're at already physical health benefits, mental health benefits, and we're gonna. And there's also plenty of stuff out there too about how video games help veterans and people with PTSD get over it. And there's plenty of studies about video games helping veterans adjust to civilian life. I'm a veteran, and it's definitely helped me. There's plenty of studies about how video games help with depression and anxiety as well. And guys, I'm going to have a bunch of articles linked in the description that you can look at. I'm just not going to go super into all of them because otherwise this video will be super duper long, and I'm trying to avoid that so it's more shareable. All right, number 4, video games can make you a better leader. Leadership's a huge life skill. Every company I've ever worked for or applied for has always looked for at least some leadership quality. And if you've ever done a raid or an end-game activity, you know it takes a leader to usually get through those things, and someone has to step up. And so it makes complete sense that video games help make you a better leader. 5, video games can pique your interest in history. That's also kind of a no-brainer once you read it, because lots of people love Destiny just because of the lore, which is the history, and then lots of people love games like Call of Duty and Battlefield because they go into wars and history and they implement history. And I think one of the World War One, Battlefield 1 or whatever, actually took you through a story of a bunch of different characters that fought in World War One. That was super interesting. And then number 6, video games can make kids more active. Here the study found that if a kid does something like skateboarding or basketball or something like that in a video game, they're more likely to try and go outside and practice those skills as opposed to never being exposed to the sport. So that's pretty interesting. I wouldn't say it's probably a complete 180, and like you play video games, you will play outside, but it's at least nice to see that there's an impact to actually doing some activity. So we got more health issues. All right, or more health pros. Number 7, video games might slow down the aging process. Holy crap! Is this like the fountain of youth or something? But so-called brain games involving problem-solving, memory, and puzzle components have been shown to have a benefit more towards the older players. Apparently, just 10 hours of playing led to increased cognitive functioning in participants 50 or older, and that improvement lasted for several years, so that's really cool. Number 8, video games might help ease pain. Say, what? How much money are we spending for damn hospitals to give us? Why are we not funding this? Like, we give hospitals so much money for painkillers and all kinds of other stuff, and all you gotta do, apparently, is play a damn video game. And it makes sense. Here, it's common to try and distract ourselves from pain by paying attention to something else or focusing on other body mechanisms. Playing can actually produce a pain-killing response in our higher cortical systems. The more immersive, the better, which is why pending if like virtual reality and stuff becomes more available and accessible, one day virtual reality games might be just as prevalent as like hand sanitizer in the hospital. Like how is this not getting? Like how much cheaper do you think? Oh my God, video games would save people so much money. Like they help with anxiety and depression. Those meds cost a metric butt ton. So it might help out at least some people to be able to get through the day if they play some video games at night or something like that. And that's probably insanely cheaper than doctor's visits, making sure that the dosages are still up to correct, and then actually paying for the meds, whether or not you have insurance. If you have really good insurance, it might not be cheaper. But like $90 for a year of Destiny is, I think for most people, is probably like 1 or 2 months worth of meds. Wow. Anyway, this is blowing my mind. Anyways, number 9, video games can help you make new social connections. Gamers are sometimes stigmatized as being too insulated, but the opposite is true. The rise in multiplayer experiences online has given way to a new form of socializing in which players work together to solve problems. But studies have shown games can also be the catalyst for friends to gather in person. Roughly 70% of all players play with friends at least some of the time. Oh, like Pokemon Go. That I know that's not like a video game like Destiny 2, but it still falls in the category that people will meet up and like who never met each other just to go hang out and catch Pokemon or like after work or something. And then you got video games like for myself and our clan like LFG. Like we look forward to seeing when a friend's online and just hitting them up and being able to chat and play and solve and accomplish stuff together. So like, and then veterans and people that are kind of need some readjustment back into civilian life, or maybe they experience something super duper traumatic, not necessarily military related. It's a great because you can interact with people without having to be in front of them. So like it being right next to a person, because maybe you were sexually assaulted, and if that has happened to you, I feel absolutely terrible for you. But maybe it might take you a while to feel comfortable being around people again. But you can just be in your living room and talk with people and kind of have like a little step towards the end goal of being okay with being around folks while still meeting new people. And like, how are we not funding this more? Oh, Trump, you're an idiot. Oh, I was trying really hard to get to this whole thing without saying it because I try to keep politics out of here. But holy crap, how are you not look up anything before saying stuff, or at least have one of the like your 1,000 employees do it for you? All right, number 10. Video games can help improve balance in multiple sclerosis patients. That makes sense because of things like the Wii Fit, where you have that balance board and things. But since it's an order affecting multiple nerves, multiple sclerosis patients often have problems with their balance, and no medications have conclusively proven to help. However, one study found that MS patients, multiple sclerosis, who played video games requiring physical interaction while standing on a balance board displays improvement afterwards. Gosh, video games are accomplishing things that medicine is not able to do. Good Lord. 11. They can help improve your decision-making skills. Won't get much into that, other than in one study, players who are immersed in fast-paced games are 25% faster in reacting to questions about an image they had just seen when compared to non-players. Number 12. Video games can curb cravings. Players preoccupied with indulging in overeating, smoking, or drinking might be best served by reaching for a controller instead. Holy cow! Revealed a 24% reduction in their vice of choice, a university study. Good. Again, how are we not funding? You can help people with alcoholism and drug addiction, or like gluttony or whatever, with video. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I don't know. Oh, shake my head. Shake this. How are people hating on video games? Holy cow. 13. Video games can reduce stress. So here's another medicine you could save money on, because apparently they found the heart rate was reduced by certain titles by over 50%. 50%. So the heart rate went down by over 50%. And you would think because of dying and getting mad and whatever that you would actually have more stress, but apparently the opposite is true. And then gaming, at number 14, might be less likely to bully. Apparently, they did some study and where they use games where you can be the hero and the villain, and when the kids that chose to be the villain actually felt bad about the choices they made as a villain. And so, like, it could help with bullying, which is another huge issue in the nation. So, holy cow. Guys, video games might be the answer to some, or at least one of the answers to a lot of our problems. And then video games can help address autism. I'm not going to get super duper into it unless you guys ask me to later. But basically, because of the interaction and full body movement and stuff, there's things that can occur with video games that help fight the symptoms of autism. But guys, like, I please share this. Like, I have all the links for these articles that I found that I think are a little bit easier to read, other than one scholarly article. And guys, just check them out. Share this video. Get the word out there so we stop having to suffer. I'm sorry this video is kind of long. I took a bunch of takes because it took me forever to get it down as short as it currently is. I did my best. Thank you so much for sticking in there all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. So again, share the crap out of this. Let's change these stereotypes. You guys have all been fantastic. I'm Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.